This is one of many thousand stone and metal mines that are found throughout the United Kingdom. The earliest ones date back to the Bronze Age, 3,500 years ago. But most of them, like this one here, were dug out in the 17th and the 18th centuries. It's still possible to explore many of these mines, and each week more than 1,000 dedicated enthusiasts go underground to do just that. Of course, proper clothing and training are important to make the sport as safe as possible. But there's always going to be risks involved. Flash flooding and bad air are just some of the potential hazards you could encounter when you enter a mine system. In May 1995, 4 young friends set out to explore the Mandale lead mine in Derbyshire. They were half a mile into the mine when a stroke of bad luck led to near tragedy for their day and a rescue that involved 45 people. In our reconstruction, the 4 friends are played by actors, but everybody else takes part as themselves.
People have seen all the seas, they've seen all the lands, they've seen all the mountains, but not everybody's seen underground. We like to go down and see things that nobody else has ever seen.
Lead mines were made by miners hacking out the rock to get at the lead and then leaving a lot of the rock behind. The old stacks of dead rock left in situ can get very dangerous over a period of time.
Come on, you big girls.
Mining was a thing people did for a living. I didn't know you could do it for fun. And Adrian just says to me one day, come with me. So I did.
Right, here we are then.
The group who went exploring the mine that afternoon were Adrian Lebetter and Craig Smith, who'd been caving before, Dougie Cook and David Wood, who hadn't.
Right, we ready? Here we go then.
Me and Adrian are more experienced than Dougie and David were. We always take the lead and make sure that them two are all right.
The mood was brilliant. We were just enjoying it. 'Cause, you know, cave, what we hadn't been in before, so it was all new to us.
You just want to go as far in as possible, so you're the first person on Earth just to see that particular bit. It's absolutely beautiful down there. There's no other thing like it.
As we got down, it started getting smaller and tighter. Then I started getting cold, and I couldn't bother to walk anymore.
Let's have a rest. What? I'm knackered.
What's going on? Are you coming, Craig? Yeah.
We decided to tell them to have a rest, so me and Craig went on to see if there was another passage further on.
What was that?
Craig and Adrian were now more than half a mile into the mine.
Nearly through.
Dougie and David were getting anxious, waiting for them to get back.
Where you going?
I'm gonna have a look.
Come back here, will ya?
We had hit the roof with my helmet on, and as I moved out of the way, all the rocks come down.
Jesus.
It's just the noise of rocks hitting each other. It's so frightening. It's just the most haunting sound I've ever heard in my life, and I'll never forget it.
Oh, Dougie, you all right there?
The rock come down and hit my hand and cut all my finger.
Craig! Adrian! Craig!
Dougie and David were completely cut off.
We like ran back to where it happened, and then it was just like completely full of rocks.
David! Dave! Dougie! We're going to get some help. We'll be back soon. We'll be back as quick as we can. Come down.
Pull these rocks down a bit.
Just a wall of rock going nowhere.
Craig started moving some rocks and passing them back to me, but then a little bit started to come down again, so we just left it. All sorts of things went buzzing through my mind. It was just like, are we going to get out of this?
Come on, Dave, keep up.
Dougie made us take a few wrong turnings, and I thought, oh no, we're never going to get out. I had near enough had tears coming from my eyes because I was panicking that much.
It was really cold. I was starting to feel it really bad. I knew Adrian was cold. You could see he was absolutely shivering. He was shaking. All you can hear is just dripping of water. It's like Chinese water torture. The drip sounds so loud. But it just gets worse. Every minute gets worse.
Come on, Dave, keep all right.
It's wrong to say, but I didn't think Dougie had the capabilities of getting out on his own. He was all right while it was me and Adrian, because me and Adrian knew more than Dougie did. I just didn't give him the credit he deserved.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Dougie and David did get out, but then they had to raise the alarm.
Mate! You've got to help us. 2 of our mates are stuck in there.
I ran up to him and he had a mobile phone and he phoned the cave rescue.
Cave rescue.
They always say to you, "What, you've got any last requests?" And it's to say, "Yeah, I'll have a cigarette." And that's exactly how it was. We know about the gases down there. There was no obvious signs of gas. All we could do was sit there. We didn't talk to each other. I think both of us were just thinking. And the thoughts that were going through my mind was, we're dead. It's just a case of time.
Getting about 20 out of the first
By now,
instance.
Derbyshire Cave Rescue had been alerted, and the team leaders were starting to arrive.
The first thing we had to do was to try and find out what had happened underground, how bad the collapse was, make sure that information we got they weren't injured was correct. Look, there's only you here at the moment. Are you happy to go in on you?
Whilst clearly there was going to be a large team turning out to lend assistance, we needed to get some accurate information as soon as possible. We needed to get in fairly quickly and find out what condition they were in.
What Dave didn't realise was that he had a half-hour journey ahead of him.
We was thinking of ways that if Dougie got out, how would the cave rescuers find us? How would they know where we was? But that's when we had the idea of blowing the smoke, so hopefully it'll drift and they could smell it.
Cavers specialising in tunnelling through unstable passages were now arriving, along with the emergency services.
The police had asked the fire service to come because they thought that there might be some water pumping. We know of a shaft that drops down into the mine from the hillside above. Here we are in the dale. It might be a lot safer to fetch the trap men back up that shaft than to try digging through the blockage at all, which is obviously an unstable area. What we're not sure about is whether the blockage is this side of the shaft or that side.
I just started thinking about all my family and my daughter, mainly. I was thinking about my daughter.
Craig and Adrian had now been trapped for 2 hours, but their plan had worked. Dave Edwards was now on their trail.
I smelled the cigarette smoke, then I knew that they had to up the main passage ahead of me. But there was still 300 or 400 metres of awkward wet caving.
At the top of the mine shaft, Matlock Fire Brigade's rope unit had now arrived.
Last 20, 30 feet going down.
Bill, we're up the top of the shaft. We're just about ready to get the abseilers down, OK?
Caver 2 from Caver 1. Yes, understood. Standing by.
Craig? Adrian?
I think I can hear someone.
Craig? Adrian? Yeah? Right, what state are you guys in? Cold, very cold, freezing. I'll see if I can make a hole through to you.
It was immediately obvious that it could be a major digging operation to get to them.
Move back a little bit away from the other side of this choke, guys. Okay.
I tried to excavate a hole to pass through an emergency crash bag, as we call it, so that they could be as warm and as comfortable as possible.
Okay, I'll see if I can post this bag through to you.
Unfortunately, when I was pushing the bag through, it dislodged yet more of a rock fall. And that bag then was buried under quite a pile of rocks.
Then he says to us, "I'm going to have to go out on top and get some more men down here to help me." He said, "It's going to take me about an hour." And he said, "Just sit tight and just try and keep warm." We just started feeling down again and depressed because it was the fact they had to get us out. They knew where we was, but now they had to get us out.
Bill, we're at the top end with a bit of bad news, I'm afraid.
We're the wrong side of the rock fall. We're not going to be able to get through, over.
What's the problem then?
I found where they are.
Yeah.
They're the wrong side. Quite nasty collapse.
Yeah.
Past Keith and Mark, they're going to start doing some digging.
If stuff is still coming down, it means that the area is unstable. You would need to support the area that you're clearing the stuff out of to stop it falling in again.
Teapot, are you going to go in now and take Wendy with you?
The next cavers down were Wendy Jewell and Derek Stables, who the team called Teapot.
That's it, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
We looked in a bit of dangerous state of condition. We got with us minimal digging equipment, pro-bar, entrenching tool, and perhaps a little spade, but that's about all we had.
Hello, you all right? Yeah. We're going to start pulling some rocks out. Keep away from this bit.
Yeah, keep right back.
Crawled right in. The whole thing was just hanging there, moving, bits rattling down. It's a bit like the kids' game Kaplunk. You know, pull the wrong one out, you have the entire world down on you. Keith, I've caved with for 25 years. He was looking for rocks coming down. I could concentrate on getting the rocks out. Just know how each other thinks and works and trust each other 100%. You know, Keith's not going to let me die. I'm not going to let him die.
I'll get some timber in the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's really dodgy, this.
How's it going?
Some more team members came along. There was Wendy and Teapot, and it was just really us four in the potential danger area, if you like.
It just kept collapsing over and over again. It just kept collapsing. Just the same noise over and over again. And it's just so daunting. You think it's not going to happen. You're not going to get out.
Any sort of movement, I'd imagine the wall would have come in on top of us, yeah.
My body temperature dropped so low, and I was just uncontrollably shivering.
Doesn't matter how long it takes, do it very slowly. You've got to do it. There's no point in rushing, because all you're going to do is bring it down on yourself. So you do it slowly, and you watch what exactly every movement is coordinated.
Other cavers began the long slog, carrying armfuls of wood the half-mile down to shore up the tunnel. Meanwhile, they'd finally tunnelled through the rock fall, but the rescue wasn't over yet.
Still all right, I'm through. You all right? Yeah. Okay. Watch your head. Yeah. Down. We're going to put some rocks through. Stay back. All right. Stand back. You all right? We just want to have to go through. Yeah. You just watch this stuff here, Keith.
I'll watch it when it's down. Yeah, right.
Just watch this rope when you come through.
Yeah, don't touch anything.
How you doing?
Right.
They were very cold. Just glad to see us, really. We didn't have very long before this thing came down and sealed us in. You know, then make the decision, let's get this stuff moved out quickly, get it out of the way, get the lads through and get away from here.
Keep his head down.
One grabbed the collar, my collar, one grabbed, both my legs, hold them together, while one pushed and one pulled, and just dragged me through that way.
Get me out.
First one was all right. And passed him on to Wendy, and off they went.
I just thought, it's either now or never. It's do or die. And we did.
Head down. Head down. Down.
Real low as you can get.
Right down. Right down.
They're like puppets, basically. We'll put their arms where they need to go. And if we push the heads down, then the heads go down. We just do as we say, and we'll get them out.
I've just seen the chocks that they'd used in the side of the walls to support the roof just fell out in front of me and just landed in front of my face. And little tiny pieces of rock were just hitting me on the back of the head and on the back. It was so frightening. I just can't explain how frightening it was. I just knew there was tons and tons and tons of rock right above me that could come down at any second.
Hold it! Hold it!
I just saw Teapot just literally hold the wall and the roof up with his back. He just jumped into place and just, you could see him struggling. I mean, sweat was pouring off his face. He was just actually holding a complete mine shaft wall on his back, which I just thought was fantastic. I've never seen anything like it.
Whilst you're holding it there, you can feel which parts are moving. the pressure points of which rock is on what part of your body. The right-hand wall was actually starting to move very slowly, and the roof started to let little stones fall.
It's all coming down!
Great feeling of relief, because it was a gamble, and it had come off right. I mean, it could have gone the other way.
Well done, you're out now. Just one bit. You're all right now.
Craig and Adrian reached daylight after being trapped for more than 5 hours. They both suffered from hypothermia and were kept in hospital overnight. These pictures, taken at the time, showed the relief of the rescuers.
It was good teamwork and a great sense of achievement. It's probably one of the most difficult rescues I've been involved in. Probably one of the most difficult that DCRO have been involved in. They were lucky that the right people were at the sharp end when it mattered. Maybe some of the other people on the team wouldn't have taken that on.
For days I was even scared to go to sleep because I just kept seeing these images of rocks, and the sound was the most haunting, and I just kept hearing it. Even laying in bed at night I could just hear this, imagining the sound how it was.
It'll be a long time before Craig and Adrian forget what happened to them underground. To show their gratitude, they held a car boot sale and raised £140 for the Derbyshire Cave Rescue team who'd saved them.
3, 4, perhaps even 5 of them risked their own lives to save ours. They didn't have to do that. They could have looked at the situation and said, it's just not worth killing 7 people for 2. It just don't make sense. But they took that risk. Yeah, they risked their own lives to save ours.